Barefoot Hippie's so wonderful and amazing. She sent a box of all this wire. Oh gosh. Look at this. This is Parawire, which is a great place to get wire. And they have a lot of supply. I suggest calling them on the phone and figuring out exactly what you want, unless you like to order online, but they're really helpful if you talk to them on the phone, usually. But look at all these spools. This is 18 gauge antique copper. I love antique copper. So why do those look different? That was just one of those. Okay, they look magnified through the one part. This 18 gauge antique. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. The vintage brass. These are the two colors I really like for dark earth tones. It's antique copper is more reddish, vintage brass is more yellowish. I love these colors. And for 18 gauge, you could build whole pieces with just 18 gauge. I have a lot of videos where I do that, and it looks like this is all antique copper and vintage brass, 18 gauge. Like, I'm just gonna make a whole bunch of videos with this stuff. So kind of her or them, Barefoot Hippies might be a whole conglomerate. They just travel around barefoot in all their hippiness. And look at this cool chain. This is vintage bronze chain. It'll go great with the vintage bronze wire. I just got to get little connectors to put like lobster clasps and stuff, which I have because I use a lot of that color. So this is awesome. All right, let's make something. Let's make something. Oh, it's so wonderful. All right, I told you that you can make something with just 18 gauge. You didn't believe me, so I just popped off that plastic part. So now I'm going to prove you wrong, and you're going to feel horrible that you didn't believe. When you believe, somehow you will. Now you will make jewelry when you believe. This is, I'm not measuring it, but I think it's about 2 feet, give or take, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less. And let's just make something cool right here. Like, watch this, no beads, no nothing. What? That's crazy, you can't do that, Matt. Stop, you can't do that. The sponsors are gonna be mad. You have to sell some stones and stuff. Nope, sorry folks. Just no beads, no nothing. I got to the middle of the wire, I made a loop, I twisted it twice, that's it. See that? See how amazing that is? You're still doubting. Look at your doubting heart. Look deep within your heart and ask yourself, why am I still doubting? That's okay. I will show you the way. I'm gonna put these two ends together like this. We're gonna make them kind of a right angle, and we're gonna hold them together like this. See that? And then we're gonna just do crazy twists and turns and loops. Loops. You have to say it like the French. Loops. It's spelled L-E-W-Y-E-O-U-P-S. Loops. It's almost like alley-oop. Like when you're in the circus. Alley-oop. Alley-oop. Jump up on my shoulders. Alley-oop. See that? See how I keep them side by side because I keep pressing them? They want to roll around over top each other. You can let them because that looks cool too. But if you want them side by side, it's a discipline. You got to keep them like that. And see, now I'm going to twist them back this way and see how they're starting to roll over top each other. You got to keep them side by side. You got to keep them side by side. Dum 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 dum. You got to keep them side by side. Dum 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 dum. So anyway. You hear that, all that scratching? That's the wire scratching the table. I would have more freeform, but I want to get up close to the camera so you guys get to see it all. So nothing is missed. See how much I care? I'm letting the wire just make that irritating sound. See, that one I went around twice. Why? Because I'm amazing, and I can go around twice if I feel like it. I'm in charge. I tell the wire what to do. It makes me feel powerful. You know, normally some people let the wire push them around. Not me. I stand up to the wire. I don't let the wire bully me. Say, wire, I'm in charge. And this is your time to listen. Now, look at this. Let's come up here. Got a lot going on here. See that? That's nice. This is the top. I'm feeling this is the top. I build some kind of crazy tapestry. And then I work my way back up. And then maybe back down, maybe back up. Eventually, I'm going to end it probably by wrapping around that top loop. And then tucking in the sharp ends in the little bowl made by wrapping it, right? So for now, we're just going to give like a nice, this is a nice curve here we got going on. See that? Let's curve it. It's a nice bottom loop. We got our top loop and our bottom loop. And you're saying, oh, but that one looks wonky. Well, you don't have patience. First, you don't have faith. Now you don't have patience. It's okay. I will show you the way. we wrap that around there, and then we wrap it around again. But this time we do a squiggle wrap. Like, instead of going straight around, we, look at this, back and forth, back and forth. It's like a wavy pond. You got to overshoot it to get the waves really tight. You got to do a little bit more. Each bend has go a little bit more than you want it to overshoot it. Okay. Now, right here, I'm going to pull this in. Even though they're wavy, they're also making the shape of, I'm slowly making the shape of an oval or a teardrop. So you think it was all just random craziness, and it was, but it also had a purpose. Now we're going to wrap it around here. Every once in a while, I'll wrap it around something to anchor it, so the wire doesn't just float off into nothingness. So we'll come around here, and now look, I didn't grab the exact middle of my wire because I didn't check. So now I have one end about to run out and one end that's quite a bit longer. So we take this one end that's quite a bit longer. He's going to keep on building the scaffolding and the beauty, and this one is pretty much done. So we're going to take this little baby here, and we could do a swirl, or we could wrap it around and around the bottom loop. Let's wrap it around the bottom loop. We'll do a bottom scarf. Usually we just scarf the top, but this time we'll scarf the bottom. And it doesn't go around much more than that, so we'll cut it right there, halfway across the loop, tuck it in, tuck it in, tuck it in, right? Cool little scarf going on. Make sure it's tucked in tight. See how that's way deep in there? It's not only pushed to the middle, but it's pressed down. It's pinched down deep where it'll never... Okay, that video cut out. I don't know where it cut out, but I'm a little bit annoyed. So anyway, I'm going to continue to make this guy come around. And that loop needs to be bent back. Let's try to get that in there. There we go. Get that tight in there. And then, there we go. Bring it all together like that. And then we can wrap it around the top guy there to make our scarf. There's our beautiful pendant. Look at that. I didn't even have to cut this end. It's just ready to be tucked in right there. Boom. It's in. Bend this a little straighter. And this part's moving a little bit. That's okay. Just flatten it like this. Just needed to be tighter. See, now it's steady, stable. And we'll just move that up there. Now we're just molding it. We're putting the finishing touches on it. And get some jump rings and we're good to go.